Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Franchise Hockey Manager 8 with the Omaha Harvesters. We are at February 1st and things continue to look good for the first year franchise. We are 40, 15, and 2. We still have the best record in the NHL, 2 points clear of the Canucks out west, 4 points clear of the Bruins and Red Wings in the east. And 18 points ahead of the Predators in the Central. So it looks like we have first place wrapped up in our division. It was a pretty good month. We went, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 6. So it wasn't a great month. Wasn't a great month compared to where we had been. If we look at our team stats for the month, we are definitely, we talked about where we need to upgrade. And I definitely think that we are weak on the back end, as the only defenseman here that I truly trust is Matthew Robertson. Rasmus Andersson has been pretty good, but other than that, it's been pretty much a crapshoot. I would say we go too deep solidly. Slavin hasn't been bad, but he's getting up there. He's hurt right now, so I'm going to have to take him out of the lineup. Offensively, though, I have no complaints. I mean, we've got veterans, a mix of veterans like Mangiapane, Dubois is almost 30, and some young players. Marcus Lindgren, former Buffalo Sabre first-round pick. He's got 24 goals in his rookie year. He's only 20 years old. It's been just a really good year for us. I mean, a lot of offense. Defense has been meh. So, again, I think, we'll see about upgrading the blue line or maybe even goaltending because our goaltenders haven't been great. Excuse me. You can see Kolosov, a .911 save percentage, but a .310 goals against, and Blomqvist .910 and a .304. So neither of our goalies have been great. We're really getting it done with our offense. You can see Afanasayev still at a point a game, 57 points, 57 games. Cousins, 57 points in 56 games. 18 goals for Dylan Cousins, his first season with Omaha, and he's almost at his career high for goals, which was 23. He's almost certainly going to pass his career high in points. Lindgren, I talked about, former first-round pick of Buffalo. Apparently they didn't sign him for some reason. But Colson has been pretty good. Tuomala he's one of the few players on the team with a negative plus-minus. Robertson's been our best defenseman by far. Krebs, Dubois, and you can see kind of the rest of the roster here. I put Peyton Krebs on the trade block. He hasn't been all that good. He's really been one of the worst forwards we've had from a game rating perspective, and his contract is up at the end of this year. So I've added him to the trade block along with Mangiapane, Ryan Johnson, Jacob Slavin, Rasmus Andersson, Ponomarev, etc., etc. I offered, we just re-signed Matthew Robertson to a contract extension. His contract was up at the end of this year, so we signed him to a 3-year, $3.7 million a year contract. That should take him till he's almost 30. We have some other players that are up, whose contracts are up. Kolosov, Johnson, Wu, Krebs, Kuramato, and Pearson. Kuramato and Pearson are both down in Atlanta. Wu has been kind of bouncing back and forth. Johnson he's provided a lot more offense than I anticipated he would. What would he want to come back? And that's a reasonable contract. And he's only 26, so let's go ahead and let's just meet that demand. I'm okay with that. But yeah, Krebs on the trade block. We're at February 1st. There's not much on the trade block as of yet. You can see most of the 6 best players on the trade block are all, or 5 of the top 6 players on the trade block are all from our team. So not a whole lot going on here right now. So I'm looking for some young players. I'm also keeping an eye on the upcoming free agents, as that may be something we can take a look at as well. if we find a team that is, I don't know, maybe in the playoff race and looking to improve their team, maybe we can snag a prospect from them. We'll see how it goes. A lot of good young players. You can see that aren't fully developed that are on the or not on the trade block, but their contract is expiring. So we will see what we can do, but there's not much there yet. So we'll give it a few days and we'll just sort of see how it goes. So we are going to start. Oh, I can't start the simulation. I got to get Krebs off the roster or not Krebs, Slavin off the roster because he's hurt. It is going to pause me here in a moment. Once we get to this game against LA, it's going to say, you have an injured player in the lineup. Stutzle re-signs with Ottawa. So we signed Ryan Johnson. That's good. Okay, so Mukhamadullin is back, so I can just replace him with him. That's good. Yeah, we need to do something about our defense, potentially. I mean, I'm not gonna break the bank. I'm not gonna make any stupid trades. I'm not gonna trade. Not that I have a lot of really young players, but not gonna make a deal for the sake of making a deal. Oh, excuse me, but I will try to find something that's best for us. So let's see what happens here in game 1 of the month against LA. 5-0 loss. That's not good. As Vancouver takes over the top seed out west. All-star teams. Matthew Robertson made it, and that was it. Okay. Sonny Milano put on waivers. Evander Kane put on waivers. We didn't have anybody in any of the competitions. Let's continue ahead. I don't need any of those players. So sim ahead a couple of days here. Next up, we are at the Avalanche. I know we're having a very good regular season. I don't suspect that it's going to be enough. I don't think we are going to... who's hurt now? Woo. Okay. Do I have a defenseman that I can call up? I do. Tuin. I have 24 players on the roster. So we'll do this. Replace him with Tuin. Put him on the injured list. Yeah, I think we're having a really good regular season, but I don't know that we're going to have enough to get us through the postseason. If we win the Stanley Cup in our first year, I'd be completely shocked as we lose again. So yeah, we're struggling a bit here in January and now February as we are under 500. All right, now we are exactly at 500 over our last 16 games at 8-8. We win this one 2-0. We get goals from Mercer and Podkolzin. Kolosov gets the start. Cool. All right, so Slavin's back. And Johnson's hurt. Okay, so that's good timing. So maybe we'll get up to next Monday, which will be like the 14th, and see if the trade block has changed at all. And then we'll look at some of the better teams, Detroit, Boston, Vancouver, the Rangers, and see if they have any young players that are whose contracts are expiring, maybe haven't made it to the majors, made it to the NHL yet, and see if maybe we can make a move. Thomas Bordeleau and the rights to Andrew. Ugh, okay, well that's nothing. All right, next day. Can we defeat whichever New York team this is? We do. We win 3-2. A couple of low-scoring games in a row here. They get up 2-0. Podkolzin with his 20th, Slavin his 9th, Mangiapane his 19th. 99 defensive game rating for Simon Forsmark. That's what I like to see. Kolosov gets the start and the win. Afanasayev is hurt. That one's going to sting. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. All right. Let's put Nazar out there. Nazar is a free agent acquisition that or a waiver wire acquisition that I picked up. 24 years old, 20 points in 21 games so far. So we will get him that time on the top line, and we will see how it goes. I mean, the hot start that we had really is I mean, it's giving us this flexibility to not stress too much. We really, unless things completely fall apart for us, we should be, we should be in a position where we win the division, which is obviously a good thing. Let's put Afanasayev on the injured list. Johnson is back, so let's get Tuin out and put Johnson back in. We can send Tuin back down to Atlanta. (5-1) win. Okay, so we've bounced back a little bit. That's a couple of wins in a row there. And we lose Marcus Lindgren, because of course we do. Geeky, Tuamala, and Cousins in the first period. Mangiapane with his 20th, and then Podkolzin with his 21st. Okay, so Lindgren out, Ponomarayev in. Lindgren to the injured list. All right, so we'll get to the 14th. We'll take a look at the trade block, and then we'll take a look at some of those teams, and we'll see how it goes. He's not ready. He's not ready. All right. Transactions, trade block. So we got Manu Lukarainen, a 23-year-old Finnish goalie, currently in the A, plays for Florida. Good mental ratings. His goalie ratings are sort of meh. Still nobody great. Majority of the players are still mine. I mean, I wouldn't mind an Alex Newhook, but I'm not gonna pay what they're gonna be asking for him. All right, so let's look at, let's start in the East. So Detroit, Boston, and the Rangers is what we want to look at. Detroit, Boston, and the Rangers. That's not where I wanted to go. Can I filter by team? No. All right, that's fine. Detroit, Boston, and the Rangers. Kapokakos' contract is up. They won't trade him. Pasternak's contract is up. They won't trade him. So we're looking for Detroit. Alexis Lafreniere. They won't trade him. Detroit, Boston, and the Rangers. 25-year-old goalie Phillips Fedbach. No. Lundqvist. They won't trade him. Why is Jack Quinn in the minors? Not going to worry about it, though. Not my problem. Kubalik is in the minors. Really? Oh, they brought him back. Oh, no, he plays for Richmond. That's okay. That's not the minors. That's Richmond. Right. Okay, so here we got Renkowski, Logan Renkowski, and Teddy Townsend. Macklin Celebrini. Okay, now we're getting into some interesting players. Linus Eriksson. And I'd prefer defense. Because it's sorted by position right now. So let's sim to defense and see if there's anything there. Oh, no, it's not sorted by defense. It's sorted by... I don't know how the hell it's sorted, to be honest with you. I think it's sorted by potential by position. So it's like all the 4-star players and all the 3-star players sorted by position, I believe is how this is working. All right, so let's find those players again. Go over here. Celebrini, Townsend. It's going to make me go through it like this again, isn't it? Okay. Here we go. Rankowski, Townsend. It's all out of order now. Okay. Fed back, no. Okay. There's gotta be a way. Actually, let's just do it like this. There's a better way to do this. So if we go to trade offer, let's start with the Boston Bruins. Let's look at Bruins players and contracts that are up this year. There we go. This is what I wanted to look at. So they got Rankowski and Townsend. Townsend's not bad, 22 years old. But again, I mean, he's pretty good, pretty well-rounded, good offensively, good defensively. He's not a bad option. Detroit, I'm on the wrong roster. All right. Detroit's got like nobody who is... I mean, I could also take on a bad contract to take on a good one. That's another thing that we could do. Yeah, they don't really have anybody. They are in pretty good shape from a contract perspective. And then we have the Rangers... The Rangers had a couple players. They had Celebrini. I don't think they would give him up, though. I mean, he's only 21. Yeah, there's not a lot there. All right, we're going to keep simming ahead. We're going to go ahead another week. Trade deadline's 24th, so we have time. And hopefully as we get closer, some more intriguing options will show up as we win again. We beat our former team, the Buffalo Sabres, 4-1. Dylan Cousins with a 3-point game against his former team. Makhamadulin, Zegras, and Krebs in the second. And then Cousins with his 20th in the third. Ryan O'Reilly going to retire this year. Still a pretty good defensive forward. 44-17-2 on the year. And another win. Another win. Forsmark gets suspended. Mangiapane gets hurt. So we get a goal and 2 assists from Mukhamadulin. Podkolzin with 2 assists. Mangiapane is 21st. Almquist scores twice in the second. Is 10th and is 11th. Kolosov stops 40 out of 42, so we're going to have to make some changes to the roster here. Mangiapane's hurt. Are any of these guys ready to come back yet? Nope, game unavailable. All right, so he's suspended, so we will replace him with Wu. And we are going to have to call up a forward. We had a lot of McNamara had 38 points in 56 games. I had to send him down because he was one of the few players who still had options. I didn't have to put him on waivers, so we will replace him with McNamara. Let's keep going. nice coffee, as I'm recording this a little bit earlier than I normally do, but got a couple of videos I need to record today, so I wanted to get this one out of the way early as we lose to Calgary 6-4. Dylan Cousins is hurt. Luke McNamara is hurt and suspended. That was a rough game for him. Difficult first period for both goalies. 3-3 after 1, 4-4 after 2, and then Johnny Gaudreau and Dylan Dubé score in the third. Not a great game for either goaltender. And, yeah, we got a mess here. So we have to go back to Atlanta. Let's call up Tuin. And let's call up Dustin Scott. Cousins will be replaced with Scott. And I think McNamara is suspended. So we may have to make a move there. Next week. Let's get to the 24. Too many players on the active roster. Okay. I guess Tuin can. We have enough defensemen, so Tuin can go down. All right, let's get to the next week. And since we have so much money, if there's a good player who is on the trade block that is just making a lot of money and the team's looking to dump him, we can take him. That's the great thing about being where we are financially, is we still have a ton of space under the cap. All right. We get some players coming back. All right, now let's look at the trade block. A lot more names on there now. Unfortunately, they're all forwards. I mean, I would love a Cole Perfetti. Yeah, they're all forwards. So what do we want to do here? What do we want to do? They're all on one-year deals. I can't imagine that they would trade him to me. Like, what? Like, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Oh, that's good. Yeah, like, I don't know that we're going to be able to do anything that's going to come anywhere close. Yeah, they're not willing to move a top player without receiving something of significant value in return. Okay. All right, let's back out. We know that the Bruins are one of the best teams in the NHL. I need defensemen, and there just aren't any defensemen to be had. Let's look at the standings. Islanders, Hurricanes, sure. Let's see if they've got anybody. Again, I'm not keen on making a deal just to make a deal, but I mean, could I get someone like a Nick Fascia? I doubt it, but I mean, we can ask. Right? We can ask. Ugh, look at all those injuries, man. You guys want a veteran because it's hardly likely that they will accept that offer. Fair. hardly like, yeah, I don't know that we're going to be able to do anything. I don't know that the players that we have are good enough to they will, however, take a first-round pick for Tuamala. And I have enough forward depth that I think I can do something like that. So let's see. Let's look at a worse team. Let's look at the Devils. Like, I would be happy to trade Tuamala for a first. I mean, he's had a pretty decent season from a statistical standpoint, but not willing to move a pick that cheaply. Okay, so it's going to have to be a mid-round pick, which, I mean, I'm fine with. Although I feel like... All right, let's go back to upcoming free agents. And let's filter this by defense. I mean, if the Islanders think he's worth a first-round pick, a mid-first-round pick, then I feel like I should be able to get a 2.5-star style player for him. Look at all these injured players. I mean, are they interested at all in something like this? It's hardly likely. Offer is too weak. Let's filter again. Jake Belanger. I bet I could get a 3-star. But see, they're all old. I don't want to say old. I mean, they're 24, 25 years old, but older than what I would be looking for. What I really wanted is one of the guys kind of in this area. Matvechuk or Mattychuk. No, I can't imagine I'd get him. Jake Belanger. Would Anaheim trade him? If this doesn't work, I may spend some time offline, because I know that this has got to be just exhilarating internet viewing for you. Maybe they're wrong, but you don't think they will accept that offer. Offer is too weak. All right, I'm going to screw around with this for a little bit. I'm going to see what sorts of deals I can come up with, and I will be back once I have something sorted out. All right, we're back, and I've got one trade loaded up here that you can see. I made another one, which was a little bit more minor. I'm not thrilled with this. I was hoping to get more for Tuamala and Krebs, but this was the best I could do. And I spent probably a good 30, 40 minutes trying to sort it out. So this is the deal one of the deals we're going to make with the Washington Capitals. We're going to send Samu Tuamala and Peyton Krebs to the Caps in exchange for Adam Fortier-Gendron and Darcy Kemper. They would only do this deal if we included Kemper, and that's fine. He can be our backup, or we can waive him and send him to the minors next season. But the key to this is Fortier-Gendron. And our scouting isn't an A on him, and we're not 100% confident that he's going to reach that level. But if he reaches his full potential, he looks to be a pretty solid two-way defenseman, has some really good offensive ratings, has some really good defensive ratings. He's physical. He's a good leader, and he's only 21 years old. He was a second-round pick back in 2024 of the Capitals. And yeah, so we're going to move on from Tuamala and Krebs. We're going to pick up Kemper, and we'll probably waive him right away. And Adam Fortier-Gendron. So let's go ahead and finalize that deal. And then the other deal we made was with the New York Islanders. We ended up sending Mangiapane to the Islanders for a first-round pick. They were willing to move that pick, and it's going to probably be because they're in second place in the Metropolitan. But I mean, they could fall out of the playoffs here if they have a rough end of the season. Right now, they're one of the wild card teams. Or no, right now they're in 1, 2, 3, 4th. So I'd be it looks like we'll have 2 picks in the 20s in the first round. So we move on from some depth on the back end. And I think his contract is up, right? Yeah, so we have to re-sign him. Let's just go ahead and meet that. So we move some depth, some forward depth, and we pick up that young defenseman that we are looking for. So we will place him on the injury list. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 6 defense. We got to call up a couple of forwards here. It's not what I wanted to do. Atlanta, we will call up Pearson. And we will call up Kuramato. All right. So we now have 23 players in our big league. Our main roster, I guess, whatever you want to call it, our NHL roster, and we will put Pearson in the lineup, and we will put Kuramato in the lineup. That'll change, obviously, once we get Cousins back. McNamara, all right, McNamara's suspended. Okay. Forsmark is suspended for another 1 game. We're going to have to call somebody else up, and we're going to have to put Cousins on the injured list because we have 2 suspended players. I think we put McNamara on the injured list, actually. Do we even have a forward that we can call up? Alex Barre-Boulet, I guess. And none of these guys. You know what? No, we're going to run with... Are we going to run with... No, we're going to leave him there. We'll just sign Barre-Boulet. It's fine. Get him on the big league, on the major, on the big league roster. I keep using baseball terminology here. We'll put McNamara we'll replace McNamara with Barre-Boulet. And we will put him on the injured list. And let's check our lines real quick. So we got to get Pearson out there. And we have to get Kuramato out there. All right, so what changes do we want to make? So Zegras is our top line center. I guess Oh, the injuries are killing me, man. Let's do this. Nazar can play right wing, so we will do that, and that for now. Connor Geeky can move up there. And we'll run with that for now. Robertson on the top line. Yeah, we'll do that for now. And we will keep playing. So we make a couple of moves. We trade from some forward depth, pick up a first-round pick up a young stud defenseman, or hopefully he's a stud defenseman. We will see. We're going to have to waive Kemper. I forgot about that. He's incensed. I don't care if he's incensed. We're at $62 million. Okay. And we should have a lot of, McNamara's healthy, but he's suspended. Stay on the injury list 2 days longer. Okay. Afanasayev is almost back. Lindgren is also back. So our lineups will fill out nicely once we get those two guys back because those are our two top wingers. All right, let's play this game against Edmonton. Captains, okay. Mental ratings, leadership. Podkolzin should be our captain. And Dylan Cousins is going to be our second alternate. Did I trade all of my... I traded all of my captains. All right. Let's go to the next day. All right, so yeah, nothing earth-shattering, but I think we accomplished what we set out to accomplish. We pick up some draft capital and get ourselves a young forward. Or a young defenseman, rather. So we will get through the end of the month, and that will be that. I feel like maybe we gave up a little too much for in the deal with Washington, but we get a couple trade proposals. Johan Johansson for Ryan. That's a lot of Janssens and Johan Johansson for Ryan Johnson. Kyle Carlucci for Rasmus Anderson. No, I'm good with both of those. It is the trade deadline, so we will just once more really quickly take a look. Yeah, nothing new has been added. All right. Anybody back yet? Cousins is still out. Darcy Kemper. I just want to waive him, and I will once the opportunity presents itself. All right, let's get through the trade. A healthy player, McNamara. I have to put him on the active roster. And Darcy Kemper, we will place on waivers. I think honestly I would have been happier with that deal if we didn't have to take on Kemper's contract. In reality. Cousins is back soon. We win 5-3. Barre Boulet in his Omaha debut has a goal and 2 assists. Ponomarayev with 3 assists. Podkolzin with his 22nd. Robertson, Barre Boulet, and Johnson in the 3rd, and we win. All right, so Cousins is back, and unfortunately Barre Boulet, who has 4 points in 2 games, is going to sit for Dylan Cousins. Go back in here and change our lines up again. Cousins will move up to the top line. These lines are a mess. Crap. All right. Cousins. Robertson with, it doesn't really matter. None of these guys are particularly good. Almquist, I guess, can play on that. Play there. That's fine. All right, next game. At Anaheim. So, yeah, we're still in first place. Things are still looking good. We're well on our way to a 100-point season, our first season in the NHL. Again, I don't expect that we are going to turn it around and win it all this year. But, I mean, I guess it's a possibility. Okay, so Forsmark is back, so we will replace Wu with Forsmark. McNamara is suspended for another 3 games. He's out for a while still. Afanasayev is still game unavailable. Lindgren is still game unavailable. All right, let's get to the next day. But it's a good season. And again, I'm happy with what we got out of the trade deadline. We weren't going to re-sign Peyton Krebs. Tuamala was expendable given some of the players that we have. Lindgren is closer to returning. Afanasayev still not ready. Okay, but we win again. Terry scores for them. Karamato with his first NHL goal. They scored in the second to take a 2-1 lead. Then Ponomarayev, Cousins, and Nazar in the 3rd for us. We got 1 game left. We'll look at the stats, and we'll call it an episode. And I'll do March offline, and the next episode will be April and the postseason. All right, so Afanasayev is ready. Lindgren is ready, so let's go ahead and make those changes. Or ready-ish. ready enough, I guess. Active roster. Let's just replace him with whoever. It doesn't matter. Replace, because I'm going to reset all the lineups here in just a second. Afanasayev and Karamado can go to Atlanta. Pearson replaced with Lindgren. Pearson can go down to Atlanta. And we will reset our lines. All right. So Zegras on the wing. Afanasayev on his left. Cousins on his right. Second line, Dubois. Lindgren is a right wing, yes? Yeah. Right wing. Do we want to leave Nazar? I don't want to leave Nazar on the left. Ponomarev can play on the left. Mercer's both, so we can do that. Cool. All right. So power play now. We got to change all this too. Afanasayev, Zegras, and Cousins. That's fine. Lindgren. Who did I have on the second line? Ponomarev, right? Cool. So let's set that. Lindgren and Ponomarev. Zegras and Afanasayev. Dubois and Cousins is fine. On a 4-on-3, Robertson. Yeah, that's good. I'm fine with that. PK, Zegras, Cousins, Nazar, Mercer. We don't have a lot of really good defensive forwards, but we will make it work. Zegras and Cousins. Cool. Zegras and Afanasayev, Cousins, and Dubois. Afanasayev. Right. Okay. All right. Let's play the last game of the month. Apparently, 2028 is a leap year. There is a February 29th, a 7-2 victory as we are basically back to full strength offensively, and it shows. So Robertson with a goal and 2 assists, Nazar 2-1, Cousins 2-1. Dylan Cousins with his 23rd goal, 22nd and 23rd goals of the season. Lindgren comes back, has a goal. So that looks nice. All right, let's get to March 1st. (48-19-2), 98 points, still the best record in the NHL. Surprisingly, because we don't really have an elite scoring. We don't have like one player, no one in the top 10 in scoring, no one in the top 10 in goals against. We just somehow are getting it done. Tuin gets better. Almquist, Fortier, Gendron. Okay, so our scouting is now an A, and his ratings really haven't dropped, so that's super encouraging. Lindgren gets better. He's up to 4 stars. Monthly budget. I bumped scouting. I bumped team morale. In fact, we'll bump it again. We will bump game promotions again. Let's look at the stats. So Cousins, 67 points in 66 games for Dylan Cousins. He has been a huge acquisition for us coming over from Buffalo. Very Buffalo flavor, obviously, here in Omaha. Players I'm comfortable with, players I'm familiar with, and they are producing. Afanasayev having a nice first season, missed some time with injury. Podkolzin having a nice year for us, 50 points. Lindgren, the 21-year-old, is going to be a stud. 16 offense, 15 defense, 16 physical. He's just a big, tough kid. Robertson, our best defenseman. Dawson Mercer having a pretty good year. McNamara, another young kid. Still some work to do, but putting up some points. Dubois has been okay. Not great, but he's been okay. And, he's locked up for a couple of years, and he's making a lot of money, but we need that sort of depth, I think, on the roster right now. Johnson and Slavin are doing okay. We ended up not moving Jacob Slavin. We'll keep him around next year. That 16 defense will always play. Nazar has done a nice job as a waiver wire pickup, a 73 game rating. Trevor Zegras, 33 points in 32 games, has been fantastic. He is a really, really good, all-around player, two-way type forward. Thrilled to have him. Almquist with 30 points in 35 games. No ratings in the 50s. Forsmark, Geeky, and Mukammadulin are all at 60. Jet Wu at 61. But ultimately, pretty good numbers for our team across the board. Goaltending wise, again, Kolosov actually had a really good month. Goals against down to 288, 917 save percentage. Blomqvist 303 with a 912. They're both above average, so they're just facing a lot of shots. But yeah, things are looking good. If we go to our depth chart, we don't have a lot of goalie depth. That's something we may need to address in the offseason. Kolosov is a free agent. Blomqvist, we just signed. Kolosov, what does he want? 2.5 for 3 years. I mean, maybe. Let's see what's available in the offseason. I don't mind coming in with both of them, but if we come in with both of them, then we won't be re-signing. We won't sign a free agent. Defenseman, it has 48 Gendron all the way down here. He is one of our top prospects. We have a couple of decent defensive prospects in 48 Gendron and Tuin. I don't know how good Tuin is going to be. The ratings suggest that he's not going to be great. I mean, pretty solid defensively, I guess. Very physical. So maybe these ratings, the 13, 14, 14, 14, don't do him justice. But we have a couple of young, solid defensemen now. We're stacked down the middle. Obviously, some of these players are playing on the wing right now. Like Afanazayev is playing on the wing, which is fine. In fact, we make him a left wing. Yeah, that makes him our top wing right off the bat. So, yeah, we're in pretty good shape from a depth perspective. We have 2 firsts this upcoming season. Tyron Fevry will he be with the team next year? Yeah, I think he will. Those offensive ratings are hard to pass up. We could probably hide him on one of the lower lines since his defense isn't where it needs to be, but 80 points in 45 games this year in the queue. I think he's ready. Yeah, so we're in pretty good shape. Still wasn't expecting us to have this year that we've had, but we will roll with it. So guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I appreciate you watching, and next time it will be April 1st, and we will get through the end of the regular season and into the postseason. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.